Good evening everyone, this is Dr. Manu. Today I am going to examine nose, mouth and neck. Here is our client, he is Mr. Dinesh, he is 18 years old. Okay, now I will examine inferior and anterior symmetry of the nose. For any deformity or asymmetry. Some asymmetry of two sides are normal. Test for obstruction by pressing on each ala nasi and turn and asking the patient to breathe in. Breathe in. Okay, let us examine the sinuses. Press on the frontal sinuses from under the bony eyebrows, avoiding pressure on eyes. Then press upon maxillary sinuses. Then tilt the patient's head back, press gently on the tip of the nose and shine a light into the vestibule to get a partial view of each nasal vestibule. To inspect the inside of nasal passage, use an otoscope with the largest cap or speculum available. Be sure to insert the speculum carefully, avoiding contact with the sensitive nasal septum. Hold the otoscope handle to one side to avoid the patient's chin. This is all about nose. Let's examine the mouth. Before examining the mouth, let's review the anatomy of mouth. The lips are muscular folds surround the entrance to the mouth. When the mouth is open, gums or gingival mucosa and teeth become visible. The gingiva firmly attached to the teeth and maxilla and mandible of the bone. Dorsum of the tongue is covered with papillae, giving it a rough surface. Some of these papillae look like red dots, which contrast thin white coat that often covers the tongue. The undersurface of the tongue has no papillae. Note the middle lingual frenulum that connects the tongue to the floor of the mouth. Above and behind the tongue raises an arc formed by the anterior and posterior pillars, soft palate and uvula. Between the pillars on both sides, the mouth tonsils can be seen in their cavities. In adults, tonsils are small or absent. Next, inspect the color and architecture of the hard palate as the patient says or as. Note that movement of the soft palate and uvula. The soft palate should rise symmetrically and the uvula should stay in the midline. Inspect the outer surface of the lip for symmetry, color and moisture. Note any lips ulcers, crackings or scaling. Ask the patient to open mouth with good lighting and with the help of tongue blade. Inspect the oral mucosa for color and ulcers which can be seen in herpes. Note the color of the gum margins, dental papillae for swelling or ulcerations. And inspect the teeth, any that are missing, discolored, abnormally positioned. Examination of neck. Inspect for symmetry while standing in front of the patient and note any masses or scars. Palpate the lymph nodes using the pads of your index and middle fingers. Move the skin over the underlying tissues in each area. The patient should be relaxed with the neck. Flex it slightly forward and if needed, turn slightly toward the side being examined. Palpate the anterior superficial and deep cervical chains including the supraclavicular nodes located anterior and superficial to the sternomastoid. Note the node size, shape, delimitation, mobility, consistency and any tenderness. Small mobile discrete non-tenderness nodes sometimes termed shoddy are found in normal people. Feel for the preauricular, postauricular, occipital, tonsillar, submandibular and submental nodes and superficial cervical and posterior cervical nodes. Palpate the trachea for deviation. Place your fingers along one side of the trachea and note the space between it and the sternomastoid. Next, start the examination of the thyroid by inspecting the patient's neck tip, the patient's head back a bit, and inspect the region below the cricoid cartilage for the gland with tangential lighting. You should be able to see the lower shadowed border of the thyroid glands. Ask the patient to extend his neck back slightly again as he sips some water and swallows. Observe for upward movement of the thyroid gland, noting its counter and symmetry, often a butterfly shape the thyroid gland. The thyroid cartilage and the once falls to his resting position. Confirm your visual observation by palpating the thyroid gland. First, locate the isthmus, usually overlying the second through fourth tracheal rings. Palpate the adjacent right and left lobes and cricoid cartilage. As you stand facing the patient, look for goiter or enlargement of these lobes. Now move behind the patient and place the fingers of both hands on the patient's neck so that your index fingers are just below the cricoid cartilage, and ask the patient to take a sip of water and then to swallow it. Feel for the thyroid isthmus rising under your fingers. Displace the trachea to the right with the fingers of the left hand. With the right hand fingers, palpate laterally for the right lobe of the thyroid in the space between the displaced trachea and the relaxed sternomastoid. Find the lateral margin in a similar fashion. Examine the left lobe. Note the size, shape, and consistency of the thyroid gland and identify the nodules at tenderness. If the thyroid gland is enlarged, listen over the lateral lobes with a stethoscope to detect a sound similar to a cardiac murmur but of a non-cardiac origin, seen in thyrotoxicosis.